Yes, it is Friday, the final podcast ever. I know, it's sad. Nevertheless, headbangers and hooligans rolling on this last podcast. As always, thank you for listening. Yours truly, Scummalicious. Now, although it is the ending of an era, so to speak, it is the beginning of a new one. The show itself is not ending. I'm just moving everything to YouTube. It just makes sense at this point. I'll get to that here in a little bit. But what we're talking about, finally, after a year, and all the shit that you guys had to listen to and put up with, the number one album of all time, right now, let's just get right to it. Pulley, a steam-driven engine, 1996, Epitaph Records. Fuck yeah, I love this fucking album. I think everybody knows at this point how much I love the band Pulley, right? And I mentioned this a little bit when I was talking about America Must Be Destroyed from Gore last week. When I initially made this list and came up with all the albums, let me tell you something. This was like a 2-week thing. I started it in December of 2016, coming up with this list of all the top 50 albums. And the first list that I came up with, America Must Be Destroyed, was number 1. And I had Esteem Driven Engine, number 2. Those two albums switched back and forth 4 or 5 times. I knew one of them was my favorite album, and the next one would be a close runner-up. That was never in question. I had no doubt in my mind that one of these two albums was number 1. And I love America Must Be Destroyed. A lot of great memories to that album. A lot of drinking and partying and cocaine and hookers. And Brian fingering his own ass. No, wait a minute. That was me. I'm kidding, Buckster. It was me. That was really bad. Anyway, I did. A lot of great memories. Not cocaine and hookers, but just fun memories with my friends. But in the end, it's a steam-driven engine. When I got that album, or rather that CD in the mail, it changed my life. I wanted to start a band. I've always kind of wanted to start a band and play guitar, but when I heard a steam-driven engine, I said, you know what, I'm starting a fucking band. That's what happened. Now, Bad Field Trip, straight out of the trailer, not on the same level as a steam-driven engine, but nevertheless, it inspired me. And here we go. Number 1 album of all time, a steam-driven engine, Pulley. Now, the lineup for this album, Scott Rudnitsky, singer, first album that he sang on after leaving 10 Foot Pole. Mike Carter, who's still in the band, as guitar. Jim Cherry, rest in peace, on the other guitar. Played bass and strung out at the time. Matt Riddle played bass on this album. He fucking shines on this album. He really does. I discovered him with Big Choice, Face to Face, but wow, he's incredible on this album. He's always incredible. And of course, Jordan Burns of Strung Out was the drummer. He was the drummer for the first 3 albums. It starts with Cashed In. Got a video for it. It's got that cool, awesome guitar riff. And one thing about this album that I love, and I've talked about this before when it comes to punk albums, the rawness, the production, little rough around the set, little rough around the edges. That's not the case with Pulley. It's not a rough around the edges kind of album. And I'm not saying that it's a polished album either. It just sounds good. I wish Straight Out of the Trailer sounded like this. The vocals mixed perfectly. The guitars, bass, Jordan Burns' drums, perfect. Another week has passed. Can you keep up with the brand new scene? The music's changing with the constant tapping of my feet. And then later on, Scott sings, "The music's not important to you. It's what you're making off the show." cashing in, and we get that just amazing guitar riff. It's simple. I love it. I know the skate punk thing, that term gets thrown out a lot, and yeah, you could throw that term out in describing this record, but it kind of sells it short, right? Oh, it's a good skate punk album. It's a great album, period. And maybe the lyrics aren't super complex, but I love Scott's writing style. I just can relate to those lyrics. Maybe that's why I love the band so much, is because of those lyrics. That's why most fans connect with any band, is because they can relate to the music. But he has a way of phrasing words and lyrics, just like, you speak to me, Scott, you speak to me. Second song, Crawl, and no fillers. Top 50 albums, remember? That's one thing that cannot happen, is to have a filler. And Crawl is not a filler. I just want to talk about this one part. I love this verse. Don't walk through the door, the crawl on the floors. Why can't you see? And why do you have so much time? Nice kick-ass solo, by the way. I believe there's 3 guitar solos on here. And the reason I mentioned the filler thing, because that's all I'm going to talk about, that song, because the next song is so fucking good. But the lead guitar with Pulley, it's about the melody. It's the little fills. And it's the little things, like I always mention, that add so much more to all the songs. And Pulley is one of those bands, just like Strung Out. And this kind of goes back to the rough around the edges and raw thing. It's okay to be in a punk band and be a good musician. And of course we see that more and more now. And that's always a huge debate. Well, it's really not punk music. Whatever. Pulley's a great fucking band, and good musicians. And I still consider them a punk band. And like I said, it's okay to be punk and still be a talented musician. Third song, Eyes Open Wide. I think when I talked about this song before, and I know I've fucking just mentioned it a ton, I think I was always calling it Eyes Wide Open. Either way, Working Class Whore, know how much I love that song. Eyes Open Wide, my second favorite Pulley song. Great, catchy guitar riff. The lead guitar, it's so awesome. Simple, but effective. There's that phrase. Don't worry, I'll get in all time and best ever too for the last podcast. Tomorrow's here. A new day. I've seen it before. The sun won't make things any brighter no more. I don't want to keep going on like this. And this is for sure. Bloom, blue. And it's just a little fill right there. It's simple, but it's so awesome. And Matt Riddle just absolutely fucking destroys on this entire album. And this song, no different. Then the second verse. This part. No sleep for days, no pills to take. All the sheep that I've counted and I'm still awake. Close my eyes and this time it's for sure. And then we get that fill again. Jordan Burns sounds so good on the fill also. Then, eyes open wide again. Da-na-na-na-na. What can I do? And they go through that riff. And then, at the end of the song, and I've mentioned this before, the rhythm guitar sticks with the main riff, but it's that lead guitar, and he's just playing a simple melody over that rhythm guitar, but it just adds so much more to the song. You know what chord's coming, but it doesn't matter. And dare I say this, kind of gives me chicken skin. Gives me goosebumps when I listen to this shit. Just talking about it gets me fucking jacked up. I love you, Pulley, and you know this. Song 4, Walk In. I do believe that this song, I think it was written, when Scott Rudisky was in 10-Foot Pole. I think I read that somewhere. And maybe they recorded it on an album. I don't remember, but either way, fits in perfect with the album. Let me take you to a place that no one's ever seen. It's so far away back and deep behind the trees. I know that it won't fall. It's been 100 years. I know that it won't fall. It's just there, and I've been saying this word a lot, but it makes sense when you're talking about what I consider the best albums of all time, dynamic. And Pulley is one of those bands. They can switch speed, the drop of a hat, tempo, insert a new riff, and it's just so seamless. There's another word. I'm using that quite a bit lately too. Then we get to song 5. We slow it down a little bit. 4 walls. 4 walls. I know too well. Silence is disturbing. It reminds me I'm alone. Procrastination. Gotta get my shit together. Gotta go out and get a life of my own. My friends, they all work too many hours in the day. It's just that slow palm mute riff. Yeah, it just kind of sucks you in. Pick up my pen and I try to write, and I got nothing to say. And it kind of builds momentum over the song. 4 walls. I've been there. Writing shit down. Feel like the walls are caving in. Am I the only one that feels like that, or has felt like that before? I don't think so. To me, again, those lyrics are perfect. I relate to them. I understand. And maybe we're the only two that lost our fucking mind. When it comes to my friends, and I made a New Year's resolution. This is to all my friends. I've been a shitty friend lately. I really have. Haven't really talked to anybody. Well, not talked to anybody, but I haven't called and asked them how they were doing or what's going on in their life. And I need to be a better friend. Don't have a ton of friends, but the ones I do I want to keep. They're really good to me. They're like family. So, there. Well, I go off the tracks 2 or 3 times a show, and there's one of them. Which takes us to song 6. I love this motherfucking song, One Shot. This is it. My one shot at the big time. I gotta make it count. Stand up and be heard. 'Cause I know if the radio plays this song, all the kids will buy it. And I won't be cool anymore. Dun, 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 dun. I've been doing this for the last 12 years through all the times when no one cared. Everybody wants a piece of me. Sign on the dotted line. I just don't know what to say. It's such an amazing song. And I've mentioned this before. Punks in Vegas. It's a little thing on YouTube. Check it out. They do an acoustic version of that. It's Scott, Mike, and Jim. Holy shit. Sounds so good. Even on acoustic guitars, that song sounds good. It's an amazing riff. And I love the part where he says, if you can't make that decision on your own, then you're pretty fucking dumb anyway. And then we get that pulley fill that I always talk about. And that's one of the better ones on the album. Both Jordan and Matt really shine. Then, song 7. And I love the title of this song, Barf. Not barfing after getting all fucked up. At least I don't think so. Love these lyrics. Why every time when something hurts, someone always comes up and wants to make it worse. I'll never make the cover of the Rolling Stone, but at least I know my life's my own. And nice, absolute shredder guitar riff. After that, just wow, this album. And I am so glad that I changed my mind. If I wouldn't have made this number 1 and made it number 2, I wouldn't have enjoyed America Must Be Destroyed. It makes so much sense. This talking about this album, and I love America Must Be Destroyed, but this album, it takes me to another level. It makes me use stupid words like dynamic and fucking seamless, when I'd rather use words like taint and peanut turd. What the fuck, Penelope? We're really going off the rails this time. Song 8, I love the main riff on the song She. So we trade our lives in for the fragile peace of mind. Tells us everything is gonna be okay. Work our lives away and keep our savings saved and wait inside for rainy days. Melody. That word. That's what comes to mind on this entire song. It's melodic, but it's still heavy. It kind of punishes you. Jordan Burns, too, really shines on this one. She sat around and what happened to her life, and wondered what happened to her life. The dreams she could have had were not the ones she had, and she realized it wasn't enough. Trying to sound like that guitar riff. You're going to miss some sound effects. They're fucking cheesy, but it's a good cheesy. It's kind of like The Room, the movie with Tommy Wiseau, right? I did not hit her. Bullshit, I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark. I had to throw that in there. I don't know why. Next song, Lifer. Wish I could find a way to roam. Driving home always gives me the blues. Singing songs about what I feel like inside keeps me coming back for more. It's getting lonely. You know, those lyrics, they speak to me. Maybe other people don't relate to him as much as I do. I just love the way he writes songs. Or Pulley does. Band. Then we get to No Defense, and I believe Jim Cherry takes lead vocals on this. Dun, dun, dun. And it's kind of a simple riff and in the bass, but it just sounds so good. Kind of a mid-tempo, and I love the lead guitar on here. Once again, it's not about 1,000 notes a minute. It's about the melody of the song, and I really do like the lyrics. Give me no motive to stab me in the back. I've only been your friend for years and years to come. Is it a joke? 'Cause I'm not laughing. Well, it is, 'cause I'm still standing. And then Scott Rudnitsky comes in. I'll be back towards the end, and it just kind of sounds good. Hearing his voice come in, and then once again solo. It's not like a shredder solo, but it still sounds good in the song. I really like that one. No Defense is one of those songs. It was okay at first, and over the years it just, yeah. And I want to listen to it all the time. Song 11. Ooh, one of my favorites. Silvertongued Devil. He was a Silvertongued Devil. He was standing there. He was waiting for a ride. Looking for a one way out of this town. And you know I couldn't let him down. And I love the chorus on this song. He said he saw a good friend die. I never thought to ask him why. Oh, it's a simple, crunchy, fucking guitar riff. It's the one riff on the album that really has that kind of that raw punk rock sound that I was talking about earlier. And it just, I don't know. It's another song that gives me chicken skin. Maybe I shouldn't use it twice. That's why I couldn't say it the second time. Fuck. 3 songs left. This feels weird, right? I'm excited about the next chapter with Headbangers and Hooligans. It does. It's starting to feel a little weird. I'm getting a little sadness. It's starting to kick in, Penelope. Song 12 is titled SFBIHYD, which means sick, fuck, bitch, idiot, hot, yoke, dick. Hot your dick. I'm kidding. I have no fucking idea what that means. And maybe I should have looked it up, being it is the #1 fucking album of all time, and I can't tell you what actually that means. But anyway, not a filler, but I got to get to the next 2. So that means I like the next 2 more. Okay? But I love this part, this verse. that Scott sings. Keep my memories of you in a drawer. Old letters you wrote me. Sentimental. I can't bear to look at you anymore. I guess your life is better now. Also, another Shredder solo. Kind of similar to the one that was in Crawl. I'm not saying they sound alike. I'm just saying they kind of let it rip. It's just a fucking amazing album. Song 13, Seeing Different. The bass line on here, Matt Riddle just shines. I wanted excuses. They gave excuses. The pressure got stronger inside you, grew warmer. The calendar boiled, time ticked away for you. Now you're on your own. I see it in your eyes. Another day gone by. And those parts right there, I'm going to use that word again. That guitar fill. It's simple and it's melodic, but I'm telling you, it adds so much to the song. And he does it again on the second verse. I've walked out on my way, knowing things won't change, seeing different. And that bass. And he, towards the end of this, Matt Riddle, he kind of goes off on a little bass solo. Oh, it sounds so fucking good. It's just, these guys. And I posted this on Matt Riddle on his Facebook, and it was cool because he actually responded to it, and I appreciate it. And I was telling him how much I love this album. And he explained how much fun he had recording it. Well, you know what? I could tell. I can hear it. Because this motherfucker is so good. And then it ends, this bad boy, the number one bad boy of all time, with All We Have. Great aspirations often fall too short to fly. As we wander down this road, not all sure where to go, sometimes the scenery can bore you to death. Today is all I have, can't change yesterday, strolling down this road again. Just great guitar riff. Jordan has a nice little good drum fill he does on that too. But it's just an amazing album. I'm telling you, when like I told you before, I put it in the CD player. The fucking thing didn't come out for months. When I first heard it, I was like, God, this is so fucking amazing. I love these songs. And America Must Be Destroyed. Gore, just a different band. His shit was crazy. But these songs, they meant something to me. I understood what Scott Rudinski was saying in these songs. And he sounded so good singing them. He wasn't that whiny voice, nasally shit that I fucking can't stand, that I bitched about to no end. And the songs, it's always about the songs. And they're just written so well. And it's just a perfect album. And I am so happy that I got to talk about it on my final podcast for Headbangers and Hooligans. And it's the final podcast ever. Who knows? Maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, I'll do a podcast on something else. But Headbangers and Hooligans, the show, it's all on YouTube now, starting in January. And like I said on Facebook, and like I said yesterday, thank you to everyone and anyone. Even the people that listened to me and said, God, this guy fucking sucks ass. Fuck him. To all the people that listened to me on SoundCloud, and then I obviously transferred over to Spreaker, all the people that stuck with me the whole time. I had a person that sent me a little message and said, yeah, I listened to you on SoundCloud too. That's awesome. Thank you. If it's just one person that listened to me, that means a lot to me. We're all busy. We all got a ton of shit going on in our lives. Music is the one thing, obviously, that I love, that I'm passionate about. And I know I probably pissed off a few people with bands that they like, that I don't. Maybe that inspired you to start your own podcast or your own YouTube channel and say, you know what, fuck him, fuck Scummalicious. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and that's okay. And I think personally I have gotten better. I'm patting myself on the back a little bit. because my first show, I listened to it, I saved it. I was like, God, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, stumbling over my words, repeating shit over and over. But thank you, and thank you to all the bands. I've had a lot of bands tell me thank you for talking about them and sending me shit on Twitter and Facebook. I appreciate that. And whoever's listening now, please, just hopefully you'll watch me on YouTube. I'm upgrading, new computer, camera, microphone. It's going to look better, sound better, and I'm going to be doing it every day like I do this podcast. It just seemed right. That's what everybody's doing. And I know that people enjoy this podcast, but most people, they love the YouTube. I said this yesterday. I guess they just love seeing this pretty little face talk rather than just listen to me. I'm telling that to myself. I know that's not true. But and the bands, I just kind of thanked them. But seriously, thank you. You inspired me to do this. And keep recording. Keep playing songs because it gives me more shit to talk about. And I'm going to add a few things to the YouTube channel too. I've got a segment. I got to expand a little bit. One show a week will be. I'm going to review an album that's not punk or metal, pop, country, whatever. Just to kind of widen my horizons a little bit. And the Scum Report. I've had a lot of people tell me they like that, so I'm going to keep that. Only it's on YouTube, and really, I want to make sure I express that. Hopefully, if you like this, I think you'll like it on YouTube as well. And really, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm just kind of moving. We'll look at it that way. I'm in the old apartment right now, so it's a studio. The fucking bathroom don't work, and the dog is shit all over the floor. And you know what? I'm tired of this studio, and I've decided I'm going to the 2-bedroom townhouse with the bathroom and a half. The little half bathroom just has a sink and a toilet in it. That's kind of the way to look at it. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright. So there you go. Pulley, Esteem Driven Engine. I'm going to link the album on the Facebook page. And I'm going to continue to update everything on the Facebook page, Headbangers and Hooligans. So just keep checking there every day, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you one more time to all my friends and bands and anybody who gave me 1 second of their time. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. You know how I do this. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.